It's ghetto video time. First, I gotta show you this because I don't know if I've ever. Where is it? There it is. I don't know if I've ever shown you this. This is my John Bernthal Hot Toys Punisher. I got it for Christmas. Yeah. If you didn't know about that, that's because we're shitty about keeping you guys up to date on shit. See if this works. Hey guys, this is Obsolete Productions 5, and I should probably take down this channel, but I'm too sentimental to. But anyways, today is our review of Black Panther, even though, like, I told myself, oh, we should at least review it opening weekend. We didn't. We did see it opening weekend, though. We saw it on Saturday. That was 2 days ago.
And,
yeah, I might as well just give some thoughts.
I mean, yeah, I've been sick for the past 2 days. I still am.
And this is Sick Boy.
That's why we haven't reviewed it. Yeah.
It feels like an old video. We've done absolutely nothing to keep up appearances. We look ghetto as hell, and this is, you know, is probably a good place to end our channel. Well,
yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
Anyway.
But, we're just gonna give quick, I'm just basically just gonna give quick thoughts on it, because, you guys should probably already seen it if you're gonna see it, and you probably don't give a shit about this channel anyway, so, if you are watching, I am definitely appreciative, because you are one committed motherfucker. If you are still on this channel, you are one loyal person, and you're amazing for me, actually.
There's a lot better movie review channels out there. I mean, let's face it. I mean, why don't you watch, like...
I mean, I've thought about starting a different type of channel, but I don't know about it yet. But, maybe I'll announce it on this channel, who knows? If this channel lasts that long. But anyway, sorry, enough with the rambling. Black Panther. What are our thoughts on this movie?
It was good.
Yeah?
Bye.
It was good. Bye. Seriously, there were elements of this movie that I loved, and there were elements of this movie where I didn't hate, but I'm just like, eh. Like, I feel like it was a little overhyped, personally. Don't slaughter me. But
I don't think so, honestly. I only watched, like, 2 trailers, so I didn't really know, like, much about the film. I mean, I knew about it, obviously.
I didn't see very many trailers either.
Because I follow Marvel, but I didn't really feel a huge overhype thing. I just thought, you know, it's hype because it's a Marvel movie, and it's, like, a huge deal because, you know, it's a black superhero on the big screen, even though...
Well, I mean, I wasn't necessarily feeling the hype, like, as it was going on, more so, like, just seeing reviews and stuff like that. I don't think this is the best Marvel movie, as the tomato meter says, but I don't know how long that'll even last. It seems like Rotten Tomatoes is getting a lot more generous. Like, every other movie has a 98% now. It just kind of seems like it's becoming less important for a movie to be super high rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
But I feel like, for the most part,
I feel like it's a solid...
the praise is earned. I mean, it does have problems with every movie that's probably, you know, but, you know, the storytelling and the characters are what make this movie special.
I guess what was, like, disappointing me is because I wasn't a huge fan of the action sequences in this movie, which kind of sucks because Creed is one of my favorite movies, like, period, and the action sequences, the boxing scenes in that were awesome, and in this movie the action sequences were just a little underwhelming for me. The best ones, I thought, were the ones that didn't have very much or any CGI at all, like the Warrior Falls ones. Those were my favorite action sequences in this movie.
The action could have been a lot better, but the reason I love the movie is because of the characters and the storytelling.
Yeah, I was gonna say the main...
So, that's the main draw for me.
The main thing that I... Like I said, the elements of this movie that I loved pretty much the entire cast. All the new characters I thought were great. All the even returning characters, obviously Black Panther, Claw, they were great, but I loved the new characters as well. Like, probably my favorite new character in this movie, arguably, I think, is Shuri. I just really love her. I think she's, like, really
Shuri,
funny.
Yeah. She's a standout in this movie.
Yeah, she's definitely a standout, and I want her to be in more stuff. I know she's been in some other things, like Black Mirror and some other stuff.
I've never seen her in anything before, so this was cool. I haven't watched Black Mirror, but this was cool.
Well, I was just aware she was in it. I haven't seen the episode she's in yet.
And of course, Daniel Kaluuya is in this.
And Daniel Kaluuya
from Get Out, obviously, a great movie.
I just loved all the new characters were the characters and the characters were probably
all an incredibly talented cast of people. You get Lupita. I don't even want to try and pronounce her name.
Basically, I'm gonna say my favorite part of this movie, hands down, is the characters. All of the new inclusions I thought were great. Villains included. Killmonger was probably, let me think. He's up there. He's at least in the top 3. I'd say. I'd say it's Loki, maybe Vulture than him is my list off the top of my head right now. But
I'm a little biased because I like Michael B. Jordan, so it's kind of hard.
And I do like Michael B. Jordan too. I mean, obviously,
he's definitely one of the best Marvel villains that we've seen in a while. So
it's hard to dislike a villain even when he's super evil if he's played by Michael B. Jordan because he's Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, and obviously
he's Adonis Creed. Come on, man.
He does some diabolical things, but you get where he's coming from for the most part, and he's like a sympathetic villain, and you kind of feel for him a bit.
Well, yeah, basically, this phrase gets overused to hell, but like the best villains are obviously always the ones that you can understand where they're coming from, and you can understand where he's coming from. You're just like, you have the kind of the right idea, but you're just going about it in a very extreme way.
Yeah, you're kind of being a bit of a dick about it, but like. Speaking of being a dick, Andy Serkis' Claw was awesome and hilarious and fun to watch.
Yeah, he seemed like he was having a blast.
He was having.
He was kind of cheesy in moments, but I enjoyed that. I liked that he hammed it up. I thought it was great. Yeah. He just looked like he was really having a good time with it.
And he was also one of my favorite parts of the movie was Andy Serkis, and there wasn't enough of him in it, but
he was very charismatic.
He was having a blast, and he was cracking jokes.
And I love that. I know. I just love the South African voice that he does. I just think he's great. I don't know.
And then obviously you have all the other actors. Like I said, Lupita Nyong'o, I want to say is her name. I probably butchered that.
I think you said it pretty good.
But she's
Moscow.
she does a great job. And then obviously girl who plays Shuri, and then
I need to learn her name.
Denai Guerrera's in this from Walking Dead.
Michonne is great,
and she's great.
She's
in this too.
and she's awesome too. She has probably some of the better fight sequences as well in the movie.
Yeah, and then Martin Freeman is back as Everett Ross.
I know, a lot of people were saying he didn't need to be in the movie. I don't know. I'm always happy to have Mr. Watson around.
I liked his inclusion. He didn't have much to do, but he did have some stuff to do.
He had some to
and
do towards the end,
he's I liked him in Civil War.
Yeah,
and I like him in this.
Yeah, I just like Martin Freeman in general, and
I like Martin Freeman. So.
If there's an option to have Martin Freeman in your movie, I will never not want Martin Freeman. I will always be like, put him in. Why not? He's Martin Freeman.
Yeah, and he does great, and his American accent is
on point.
On point, yeah. So
all the characters.
All the accents. Speaking of like the Wakandan accents that each character has to do is really, really well done. Especially obviously Chadwick Boseman had to do it for Civil War. And like he obviously.
You just hear his regular voice.
Yeah, and you're just like, dang, dude. Like he's committed to doing the accent. Everyone is committed, not just the accent, but obviously the character. And I think they nailed casting him. They nailed all the casting in this movie. I think.
Right. Let me just get my gripes out of the way, because a lot of people are probably still a little bit confused. I said the action sequences, some of them were kind of underwhelming, but I guess the other thing is just some of the CG did look unfinished. I didn't have as much of a problem with the whole Warrior Falls backdrop as a lot of people did. I didn't have as big of a problem with that as there were some shots at the end of the movie with some CGI animals that I thought it was pretty noticeable, a little bit PS3 graphics-y.
Yeah.
But that was another thing, and for whatever reason, I don't know, I guess just going out of the movie I didn't feel as much as I thought I would. I wasn't all hyped up to just go on and on talking about like some other Marvel movies, which is weird.
I mean, I didn't have the energy to feel the hype because I was gradually getting sicker as the movie went on.
Because normally, not all Marvel movies, but I don't know, it's just one of those ones where I came out like, that was good, and that's a little bit disappointing to me. And it's weird because it's not necessarily anything that, there were, like I said, there were a couple gripes I had with it, but there wasn't anything huge in the movie that I thought was a flaw. I just came out and just wasn't super hyped. I can't really explain it. I guess I can't really fault the movie for it because it's just a personal feeling that I had after I came out.
It happens sometimes with even the best movies. You just come out, you're like, yeah, it was good. Like, you know, it's...
Yeah, I guess that's why I was like, I feel like I should have been more pumped up walking out of the theater than I ended up being, but
I definitely want to go see it a second time, and I'm probably going to, because it's good, and I might spot things I didn't spot the first time, obviously. And, you know,
yeah, I think I'm gonna go in for a second viewing definitely to see if the first one was just some kind of weird fluke or something like that.
But, yeah.
Because I didn't have any huge issues with this movie that would really knock it back very much. It's just I don't know. I just didn't feel the hype, you know, the excitement coming out of the theater. Like, oh, I'm gonna talk about this and that and this and that. Like, I felt like that. I remember coming out of the first Guardians, and I felt like that coming out of.
I mean, it was the same thing for me with Thor Ragnarok. Like, it was really good, but I didn't come out all hyped like I expected to, because Thor Ragnarok was getting like such good reviews and stuff, and I went and saw it. And I'm like, yeah, it was good, but like I wasn't like, this movie's amazing. But I want to see it a second time. I still haven't seen Thor a second time, but I really want to because I feel like I didn't get everything.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like Thor. Well, I think I might have like came out of Thor a little bit more hyped than this movie, but like I don't know. I guess it's kind of similar experience with me, but like the Thor, the more I like look back and reflect on it, I'm like, yeah, that was a really good movie, and that's kind of like how I'm experiencing this movie too.
So,
but
one of those things you have to watch twice.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna rate it now. I'm gonna rate it. It may change. It probably will change. But right now, it's not even necessarily based on like huge flaws I have with the movie. Just based on like I don't know, just how I feel personally right now. Is in my head, in my heart right now, it's sitting at an 8. That might change. I'm not gonna lie, you know, and give it a 10 and be like, this is the best movie of all time, because, you know, in order for me to do that, I have to be really, you know, hyped up, you know, and just, it's hard, you know, it's a tough thing, it's a weird thing, because when you can see a movie and you can appreciate it and you recognize how good it is, but you're just not, like, all, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Well, I'm going to bump it up to an 8.5. I really enjoyed it. It would be a 9, but they had that outdated Vine reference in there, so I'm going to have to...
Yeah, I was going to say that Vine reference. I didn't know whether to laugh or cringe, man. I was doing kind of both at the same time.
I was like,
wasn't that Vine dead, like, before they even started shooting this? But
like 5 years ago. I don't know. But anyway, that's what bumps it down to an 8.5. No, I'm just kidding. But,
I still love you, Sherry. Don't get me wrong.
No, but, yeah, 8.5 for sure. It was really good, and I'm definitely going to have to go for a second viewing. Michael B. Jordan did an amazing job. Chadwick Boseman obviously carried the movie, did an amazing job. All the female
actresses did
that
amazing. I probably should have mentioned earlier that I thought this movie did really well. It's just introducing the world of Wakanda, the world building of Wakanda, how just it's beautiful. It might not always have the best special effects most of the time, but like it's just all the culture, the atmosphere,
the way Wakanda was presented,
just all of that
was very well done.
Yeah, it does still feel like a lived-in place, like a real place, you know, and it is like important to the MCU going forward. Not just Black Panther, but you know the nation of Wakanda. I mean, obviously it's going to have a role in Infinity War. But, you know, I just think all the tribes and all that sort of stuff, all of it was really well done. I think.
Also, like I guess this guy. It was his first movie, Winston Duke, who played, what was his name? The leader of the mountain tribe. Leader of the mountain tribe. M'Baku, yeah. Apparently this is his first movie, and he did a great job. So
Wasn't he like a wrestler or a MMA fighter?
I don't know, but apparently this was his first movie, and I just want to give him props, because he did really good. And he was pretty funny, too.
Yeah.
So,
surprisingly funny, that guy.
Yeah, and, that's it, guys. That's our review of Black Panther. Be sure to check out some of our other videos.
My summary is I appreciate this movie and I'm aware of how important it is, cultural significance, and I do think it's a well done movie. It's just it didn't make me feel as much, which I guess is kind of understandable because that I wouldn't feel as much watching this as maybe some other people, like, you know, some African American people that have been kind of waiting for a movie like this for a really long time. Even though, you know, Blade has been out, but this is kind of like a bigger event. Because, like, the entire cast is all these great African American actors, just huge ensemble stars, and Martin Freeman thrown in there.
Yeah, and it's connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, and Michael B. Jordan can redeem himself from Fantastic Four, which I still haven't seen and still don't ever plan to.
Yeah,
but
I've never.
But
he already redeemed himself with Creed. I mean,
yeah, he's obviously a great actor.
I can't wait for Creed 2.
And just it's a good movie. It's a good Marvel movie. Can't wait for Infinity War. And stay tuned for 2 after credit scene. I feel like the first after credit scene they should have just thrown in.
Could have just been the ending.
But the second after credit scene is pretty good stinger for you guys. So check that one out. Even though you probably predicted it, but either way, it's still pretty cool. And yeah,
All right, that was our review. We should probably stop rambling on now and start ending this video. Peace out, guys. Definitely go see Black Panther. You probably already have, though.
Yeah.